I'm Carmen Ekdahl, and I'm here today with retired Sergeant Warren Pickard from the Atlanta Police Department.
How can I cope? What are some skills I can use to help me get through the day? What would be your suggestion?
So I would ask, what is it that you feel that you are most committed to? And it doesn't have to be something big like I'm committed to saving as many lives today as I can. It might be something like I'm committed to getting home safely at the end of my shift, or I'm committed to not losing my temper with my kids, right?
Right.
I would ask them what it is they feel they need the most at this time, whether it's they just want to vent and they just want someone to listen. No questioning or fixing or whatever. They just need to vent and feel heard.
Okay.
Or it's that they're exhausted and they need rest. So then I might get into that a little bit more with them. Okay, what is it that is keeping you from getting the rest you need? I get that you're working over, maybe you're working extra hours, but
Right.
when you're not at work, maybe there is something that is causing you to be unable to sleep. So maybe we would talk about different things that are interfering with their ability to get rest. And what are you doing with the stressors that you feel? So if the stresses are just piling up every day, but there's no outlet, whether it's exercise or, journaling or venting to someone, a friend, or, then I would talk with them about that. But in the short term, if that's, we only have 5 minutes before you go on shift, then let's get you connected with what's most important to you right now, and
Right.
and let's do some slow deep breathing for a couple minutes.
I think that's good. I think that's good because the big picture is that, some typically work 5 days a week, some work 4 days a week, and then they have a couple of days to decompress and then come back and do it all over again. But those decompression days are always essential so that you're in a good frame of mind, a good posture, a good emotional state when you come back to work. Well, in a lot of ways, during this climate, we're taking that away from them.
Right.
Everybody's quarantined and everything's closed. So what's your outlet? And like you said, it's going to come out somewhere. And we will hate for it to come out sometime doing 9 to 5 when you're supposed to be at your best.
Right. I know. And you know what? Right now, we're asking a lot of their support system, right? Like, so for example, in my daughter's world, my daughter has to be on point for like 12 or 14 hours a day, several days a week. Then my son-in-law is like doing the homeschooling for their 13-year-old and 6-year-old. He's doing all the cooking. He's doing all the chores around the house. He's taking care of everything else so that she can just work. And it is asking a lot. And she had to ask, I know you want to socialize more or want more engagement from me when I'm home, but I don't have the capacity right now.
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
And those are hard conversations to have, but they go a long, long way. Being able to ask for what you need and showing appreciation, those two things go a long way. And being able to listen to what the other person is saying. Maybe the spouse says, okay, I can do this, but can we agree that whatever, when you have 2 days off in a row, we can have 2 hours as a family to watch a movie together or something like that, right? Be able to have, because sometimes a lot of the first responders I've talked to, a lot of them decompress by doing some type of hobby alone or with fellow first responders who they can talk to about these things. Is that accurate?
Yeah, 99% of the time, that's their outlet. A conversation with someone who understands the stresses of the occupation, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be that way, but like you just said, sometimes it's easier to talk to people about hard things that you're not emotionally attached to.
Asking for extra time to sleep, asking for extra decompression time to do a hobby by yourself, and being able to understand that from the first responders perspective that this is what they need to keep themselves whole, especially during a time like this, and understanding for their spouse's perspective that their time with them is very, very limited. It's just something that I know comes up in a lot of relational conversations with first responders about how things are at home.
Absolutely right. Having been in those type of environments, those relationships, it is difficult. And number one, we try to practice not taking the emotional hardships of the job home, but it's hard to do. Sometimes you really need to have a conversation about it. You really need to have that outlet.
Right.
Yeah, so your point is very, very important.
Mm-hmm. So do you feel like there's other things that maybe we haven't talked about that you think would be important right now?
I think the points that we made today should be helpful to a lot of people.